calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500. This is WNZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit. Your ethnic superstation at 690 days, 680 nights.
AM 1460 WPON, Walled Lake, Detroit.
Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Hey, they've got other stuff. If you'd like the free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruz Hearing Direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789. And hopefully things are in a relatively good situation for you today, and hopefully for many years to come. And I am really excited about the possibility of helping you in your daily life health-wise as much as is possible. As you know, this show is titled Bright Side of Aging from 11 a.m. to 11:30. And then at 11:30 to 12 noon, we go into the segment of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan. I'm really proud that after almost half a century, we've got a membership all around the world of approximately 20,000 entrepreneur-type people. We have meetings locally in the evenings, and we do Zoom meetings. We do all kinds of stuff. When I'm off the air, please feel free to call me if you're interested in helping seniors in your life or you yourself. I'm a pharmacist and very proud that I've been around now for over half a century in the pharmacy world, and would welcome any calls when I'm off the air, 888-489-8980, because as a pharmacist, as you know, we're on the one side of the counter dispensing medications that can help you. And now I'm on the other side of the counter since I'm not actively filling prescriptions. So I've got a pretty good understanding of what happens as you age. Truth of it is, you cannot, as they say, turn the clock back, but you can rewind it. And one of the most important things to remember in rewinding is checking yourself out. And this Saturday, I'm really excited about being able to help a good fellow pharmacist of mine who I've known for umpteen years. And you're going to have to guess what umpteen represents. And we really are looking forward this Saturday for the health fair that he is having at his church, the Armenian church, and it's right across the street, so to speak, from our studio. So if you're available this Saturday, October the 1st, we're going to be doing all kinds of testing to really give you an evaluation of what your medical condition is. We've got healthcare professionals that can help you in answering questions. I plan on being there, and hopefully you'll join me, because I hope to have some of the information that we talk about on this show. So by all means, please plan this Saturday. Actually, it's an opportunity for also to do donations of blood. They have a blood drive and all. But rather than my briefly describing it, why don't I have my good friend Greg Baise on the phone tell me a little more about what's going on. Hello, Mr. Greg Baise. How are you?
Hey, Ike. I'm doing fine today. I'd like to add that my time in the profession is much less than yours. I've only been around for 40 years. Okay, so I tip my hat to you as a leader and innovator in our profession.
Well, thank you.
I'm currently a retired community pharmacist, but I am still very active.
You sure
I'm
are.
a volunteer. I'm a volunteer at Cabrini Clinic that's in Corktown in Detroit. It's the oldest free clinic in the country. And I sit on the board of World Medical Relief,
Wow.
a Southfield institution that's doing wonderful things, and also FAWN, Fighting AIDS with Nutrition. That, in addition to my work with the church, keeps this old retired guy pretty busy.
Well, as I like to say, you're not retired. You are refired, okay? And sometimes the refiring is very, very beneficial for people who are still on the front lines firing, because let's face it, it's one of the perks and one of the reasons I've titled my show Bright Side of Aging, because one of the bright sides of aging is that you've had experience to learn of actual hands-on sort of situations. I have a series of what I like to call Ikeisms, and one of them is that if a picture is worth 1,000 words, then the real thing is worth 1,000 pictures. And we've had the privilege of really seeing pharmacy evolve. Who would have thought in our early days of pharmacy that we would be giving injections and flu vaccine? And that's what this health fair is really going to be helping the community, and I really commend you for being involved. For those folks that really don't know that much about your background, would you mind sharing when did you get out of pharmacy school and what has your career path been like?
I got out of pharmacy school in 1978, and my career path essentially has always been that of a community pharmacist. I did a 10-week rotation at Henry Ford Hospital when I was going to school, but it taught me what I didn't want to do. I wanted to be engaged with people, helping to make healthcare better and accessible. The role of the pharmacist can't be understated. That we are the lifeline between the patient and the doctor. We're the advocate, and now we throw insurances into the mixture. In me working as a pharmacist, nobody got lost in the shuffle. My advocacy was that if there was something that was too expensive for that patient, and that happened quite a bit, I would get on the phone with the doctor and with the insurance to find something that was not only less expensive, but something that would indeed help my patient. And I'm proud of it. We need more community pharmacists today.
Well, I certainly concur with that, because I've been there, as they say, and done some of that, and you're to be commended, because, so many professions really, when someone retires, sad part about it is they indeed just decide to take time off and either travel or play golf, or there's nothing wrong with that. But there's so much experience that you have as the real thing, so to speak, when you meet patients one-on-one, eyeball to eyeball. There is nothing that beats that. The truth of the matter is that you have a situation whereby the pharmacist really is the front line for both the doctor and the patient. I can't keep track of the number of times that doctors would call and actually discuss, what do you think about this particular medication in this particular case? This is a sort of a unspoken type relationship that we do have, and so many patients are not aware that when they have a prescription filled, when they're asked to sign off on it, it doesn't mean that they just received the medication, but they should ask what is in that medication as to their condition. Have you found that beneficial, Greg Baise?
Absolutely. My first question after filling a prescription for every patient, are there any medications that you're allergic to? And if they're getting an antibiotic, I'll even take it further, because sometimes that can go over their head. And lo and behold, a few times along the way, I found people who were allergic to sulfurs and allergic to penicillins. And so in the least instance, we saved them a trip to the emergency room, but just as importantly, because nobody can predict the outcome of a reaction like that, we may have saved their lives. And it's not to pat ourselves on the back. It's just what we do, Ike. It's just what we do.
And the truth of it is that if the patient would just take the time to ask any questions that pop in their mind. And plus, correct me if I'm wrong, but there are a lot of pharmacists who welcome one-on-one meetings as time permits. So don't be bashful, folks. If you don't have quite the answers that you want when you're picking up your prescription, ask, is there a time that I can spend some time with you for about 15 minutes? And I'd be very surprised if you get turned down. So by all means, take advantage of that. Talk about taking advantage. Tell us this Saturday, October 1st, what the time frame is and where the location of the church is, and what can they expect when they arrive.
Absolutely, Ike. Thank you for asking. This Saturday, October 1st, we at St. John Armenian Church, and that's 22001 Northwestern Highway right here in Southfield. For some of you, that's just an address full of numbers. For those of us who travel the Lodge Freeway, when you're heading north, just before you get to Southfield and look over your shoulder, you'll see a beautiful church with a gold dome. That's St. John's, and it's been there for 66 years. It's not only a church for Armenian people, it's a part of the Southfield community. And that's how we got into having health fairs for the past 13 years. It's one thing for priests to lead their community to find a better way to live. But our priests at St. John's also realize that there's a whole community outside of the Armenian community that needs help. And this is just one of the things that our priests offer. They're just as an aside, Motor City Mitten Mission, a group that helps poor people around the city, and I mean finding folks who live under bridges and in shelters. They have meals that go out every day to feed around 100 people, and St. John's is one of the providers of meals for those people. I'm so proud of what they're doing. That's not to say that we couldn't be doing more, and we're looking for ways all the time to help service the community around us. Getting back to this health fair, there are 3 components to it. I'll start with the first component, which is the flu shot clinic. And the flu shot clinic will run from 1 till 3 o'clock, and it's in the cultural building, which is where the church is. And the room is the Ararat room, A-R-A-R-A-T. It's a newly refurbished room, and we're going to be one of the first events happening there. The shots will be provided by our friend and colleague from Merriman Drugs, Hanadi Thomas, and she does this every year. COVID and shingle shots are available, but only by appointment. So I'll just quickly give you her phone number in case they would like a COVID or shingle shot. 734-427-3430. Flu shots she will have. Just bring your insurance cards and you'll be all set. And we've got some Wayne State Pharmacy students, actually a couple from my church, who'll be helping her out. You'll get to meet them, Mike.
Yeah,
the second thing
mm-hmm.
is in our Veterans Building across the parking lot from 11 till 4, Veracity is sponsoring a blood drive. And especially at times like this, with the things that are going on in Florida, we need to step up and we need to give blood. So if anybody in the area who has the opportunity, it won't take long, and it'd be greatly appreciated.
Well, sounds
finally in our parking lot next to the school out there, there's going to be a van provided by World Medical Relief, the Southfield agency, in partnership with the Wayne Health Mobile Unit. They will provide health services from 11 till 2, and they'll be doing cholesterol screening, kidney functions testing, diabetes testing, blood pressure screening, vitals, pulse oxygen, weight, and temperature. And this will all be for free.
Wow.
No insurance or IDs required. What is happening here is that there's a segment of our population that remains very hard to reach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And unfortunately, they are the most needy. Well, this unit, which is going out there, provides these in a non-threatening way. They're not asking for ID or anything like that. They're out to help people. Any questions about what will be going on, they can reach us at 313-673-3325. That happens to be my wife, Edith, who's also deeply involved with this project. 313-673-3325. We will help our seniors get the help that they are looking for.
Well, there's no doubt one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people unfortunately make when it comes to the most important thing in their life, which is their health, is that they either are shy or reluctant to go to the doctor's office, and some people are concerned because of their insurance coverage. So if you take advantage of these particular free services, like you're going to be offering this Saturday, it's a shame that people don't appreciate what you can get for free. So you're going to have not only the flu shots available, you're also going to be able to donate blood. And, a lot of times people don't realize, especially with the crisis that we're having, how vital it is to have that blood available. And some people will donate blood if just for themselves in case of a serious accident, and that's doable as well. And to know that another life has been benefited because you have lived, I think is one of the greatest gifts you can give back to to society. And I really respect you in terms of the whole aspect of the health fair. Do you mind repeating the address for the Armenian Church?
Yes, I'll give it again. 22001 Northwestern Highway, and that's in Southfield, 48075.
Right.
Come on down to live better and feel better.
Absolutely. And am also very impressed that your wife is supporting and also involved, which is a phenomenal. So it's a husband and wife team. How about that, folks?
Right. Oh, wait! I forgot to mention, Ike.
Yes.
A certain individual will be setting up in the Ararat room with the where the immunizations are going to be taking place, who will be talking about the bright side of aging. I can't imagine who he is, but I think I'm talking to him.
Well,
and I thank you so much, Ike.
Yeah, well, it's my pleasure, and it's a delight to be able to be of help. And I look forward to Saturday, October the 1st, and hope we get a nice crowd of people, and tell friends that you feel could benefit by it. So God bless you, sir, and I look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Have a good one.
And I as well. Thank you for your friendship and your support, Ike. You have a wonderful day.
You too. And right now we'll take a brief break and we'll be right back. Family run for over 88 years, Frentz Hardware has remained family owned and operated. Frentz Hardware is one of a kind. You'll find the newest products offered on TV at very competitive prices. You'll also find safety products, grab bars for bathrooms, battery-operated light switches, remote control devices that you can turn your lamps on or any electrical device. You don't have to run out there anymore. Just press the button. Better yet, just visit Frentz Hardware, located on Main Street and 11.5 Mile Road. They're open every day. If you wish to call, it's 248-544-8111. That's 248-544-8111. Better yet, just visit 11.5 Mile Road and Main Street, Frentz Hardware.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
And that was Bob Allison's great voice, who unfortunately is no longer around. And this Saturday I plan to have some of his cookbooks available at the health fair. So if you're interested, please call me so I can put some books aside. 888-489-8980. I have a limited number. I'll be there on Saturday from 1 to 3. So by all means, hopefully we'll see each other. I'd like to share some other thoughts, but unfortunately, because of the time restraint, I only have enough time for my parting thought, which is: yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift, and that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life with the bright side of aging. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, You should learn from the mistakes of others because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other and achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, EntrepreneursNetworkofMichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me. For over 30 years, Cruise Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you like, Cruise Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Hey, they've got other stuff. If you'd like a free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruise Hearing Direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789. Family run for over 88 years, Friends Hardware has remained family-owned and operated. Friends Hardware is one of a kind. You'll find the newest products offered on TV at very competitive prices. You'll also find safety products, grab bars for bathrooms, battery-operated light switches, remote control devices that you can turn your lamps on or any electrical device. You don't have to run out there anymore. Just press the button. Better yet, just visit Friends Hardware, located on Main Street and 11.5 Mile Road. They're open every day. If you wish to call, it's 248-544-8111. That's 248-544-8111. Better yet, just visit 11.5 Mile Road and Main Street, Friends Hardware. And welcome. And I heard an interesting report as entrepreneurs now. Things have changed, as you know, with people getting used to, unfortunately, it was not done willingly in most cases, of working from their home, that you should consider recalculating about how you're going to go about growing or starting your business. Our toll-free number, 888-489-8980, is available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. One of the nice features I have on that toll-free number, 888-489-8980, is that if you press the number 1, it automatically connects you with me wherever I am. And I am really fortunate to have developed this organization for close to half a century, and having been involved in the business world and gotten a lot of great advice over the years. I've gotten some bad advice, and I've learned from the bad advice. One of the things that I have learned from the good advice is to surround yourself with successful people. And I cannot stress the importance of the whole concept of networking. Sure, you've got all this social media, digital advertising, all that stuff. But I am sure now, since that shutdown, you appreciate how wonderful it is to see each other as human beings. And I plan on pursuing that and welcome your involvement. This evening at 7 o'clock, we'll be meeting out at the Doubletree Hotel, which is now been officially taken over from the Kingsley Inn. It's right on Woodward, just south of the actual street there, 19 Mile Road, I believe it is. Whatever it is, it's where Kingsley Inn was. If you want to join me tonight, tomorrow night, similar type thing, but better yet, I believe in the old-fashioned telephone concept. It may be old-fashioned, but frankly, now with the cell phones, it's become very new-fashioned. You can do so much. And one of the keys, as I mentioned, is surrounding yourself by successful people. And I'm really fortunate in having a really dynamic entrepreneur who has got an extensive background in serving our country as well as doing some phenomenal things. His name is Darron Powers. He's an author, speaker, he's a life coach, and he's most important, he's a giving guy and very talented. He is a former award-winning Dale Carnegie leadership coach. He has been a consultant to Fortune 500 companies. He's been a martial arts instructor, Air Force veteran, and over the last 4 decades, Darron Powers has helped over 400,000 people to live fuller and richer lives in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And he, because of his talent in being an author, has written the most current book, The 100-Year Plan. Subtitle, An Anti-Stress Strategy to Live Better Longer. And some of the bullet points on it is to get you really on track, is that he is highlighting 3 habits to develop more energy and resiliency, how to nurture a mindset that grows brain cells. Boy, do I need brain cells. And 3 ways to reduce excessive stress. Wow, that's quite a commitment, Mr. Darron Powers. Are you aware what you just wrote?
I am. How are you doing today, Ike?
Well, I'm so glad you're able to join us, and you are a phenomenal speaker, so if you belong to any organizations, I've had the privilege and joy, and he's so good, I'm planning on having him re-invited to our Rotary Club as well as Optimist Club. And every time he makes a presentation, I'm asked, hey, can we have him back? That is the ultimate sign of being able to be a good communicator. So tell us, Darron, the 100-year plan sounds like quite a commitment. How did you go about putting your thoughts together and writing the book?
Well, I'm still putting my thoughts together, and the book is not completely written. It's an idea. The 100-year plan is an idea that, first of all, is very shocking to people because a lot of people don't want to live to 100, at least not be healthy. Now, if you're not healthy and you're 100, you're in bad shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with science, we're living longer. And because we're living longer, it's an opportunity for some of us, who are interested to take charge of our health and our mental state and our physical state and even our spiritual state. And so the idea behind the book is that, all right, if I'm going to live longer, maybe I won't hit 100, but maybe, right now I think men live to 76. That's the average. Women 81. And that doesn't always mean that they're going to be living to that age and being healthy. The key is to be healthy as you can, so that you can enjoy the latter years. But how I got started with this, Ike, was very interesting. When I was age 27, I'd been going through seminars, and I'd learned about the power of the mind. And so I had decided to write out something called a future vision about where I wanted my life to be in my 90s. And so I wrote that out, and when I wrote that out, it started directing me toward taking better care of myself. And it caused me to start doing things that I might not normally have done had I not had written out some sort of future vision for my life. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yes, I understand it. I just wondered in terms of the actual procedure itself. Do you mind sharing once, let's say, this is what I want to do? Do you provide ongoing assistance in keeping people on track?
Oh, absolutely. This book that I'm writing right now is an introduction to two other books I've written. One is called Future Vision, 6 Steps to Harness Your Power and Achieve Goals in the New Normal, and an action planning guide for future vision. And this is a step-by-step method to be able to change your mindset, set goals, and surround yourself with the proper influences so that you can live a more rewarding and productive life day to day. So, I think everything starts first with the mindset. And it's really important, especially today. We have so much coming at us, and there are so many divisive opinions about life. And it's really important to have what I would call an expectant attitude, a positive attitude. And that's not something that just falls upon you. It's something that you have to cultivate. It's easy for weeds to grow in a garden unless you're out there picking them out every day so that you can let your flowers and your plants grow. And the same thing with the human mind. Day by day, it's important to, have the proper mindset and expectant attitude. It was Henry Ford used to say, if you think you can. Now, Henry Ford was, of course, the inventor of the industrial base system, the assembly line. And he said, if you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you're right. Mm-hmm. And if you think you can live a longer, healthier life, you are in a much better position than if you think you can't. Mm-hmm. So one of the really first things is to get the mindset correct. The whole idea is the glass half full or is it half empty? It all depends on your perception. Mm-hmm. And that perception has to be cultivated. It's something, you talked in your introduction here about your entrepreneurs network. Surrounding yourself with the kinds of people that have the kinds of perceptions that allow you to succeed. That's important. Mm-hmm. That's what I would call the third step. That's your influences. But that's as important as the perception that you have on a day-to-day level. So it's important then to surround yourself with people who are supporting you in seeing that glass half full versus half empty. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. I drive a lot of people insane, so to speak, almost insane, when I try to add my own little addendums to some of these philosophies. And as you know, and I've had you speak to our Optimist Club, that is another organization that people should consider joining. They've got over 1.2 million people around the world. And these are people, just from the sound of the name, that have made a commitment to look at life in a positive type way. And I just wondered about your thoughts, Darron Powers, in terms of selecting people around you, how you feel about surrounding yourself with people that are positive-minded rather than negative-minded. What are your thoughts there?
Well, yeah, absolutely. You're spot on. In putting this this new book together, I have assembled people in my life. I've had a couple of meetings recently in the last couple of weeks, and I surrounded myself with 2 other authors and coaches. And I'm going to add another one to that mix. But these are people who are thinking about solutions to problems. These are people who are not afraid to tell me, you might want to reconsider that idea, sir.
Recalculate, as they say.
Right. But what I love about them, what we don't want is, there was a former president. He would say, listen, President of the United States, he would say, look, I don't want a yes man. When I say no, I want you to say no. Those are not the people we want to surround ourselves with. Those are sycophants. Those are people who, they suck up to you and, you never really get what's real, because in order, I believe, to succeed in life, and you said it in the opening, you've surrounded yourself with people that have helped you to be successful. You've got good advice, and sometimes you've gotten bad advice, and sometimes you don't know the difference until you try it.
Right. Well, that leads right into your other talent in terms, you practice what you preach. You are a life coach yourself, and yet you still use coaches for yourself as well, right?
Well, I think that's, thank you for pointing that out. I started using coaches back in the 80s. I remember hiring a coach when I was doing the Dale Carnegie training. I was just starting there. And I was kind of struggling, and so I started studying. I hired a coach, and I hired a coach at $100 an hour back in the 80s, which would be equivalent to maybe $300 today in today's dollars. Right. I could barely rub 2 nickels together, but I knew that I couldn't do this myself, that I needed to have somebody to help me along. So I hired the coach, and about a year later, my income had jumped to 6 figures. Wow. I had, and the coach made all the difference in the world. Over the years, I've had coaches, whether it's in the martial arts, whether it's in writing. I recently hired a coach in a couple months ago because I wanted to reach out and hit new levels of to be able to reach more people around the world with my book. So I hired a coach because I had some beliefs that were getting in the way. So I hired a coach, and sure enough, after a couple of months of working with this person, we were able to annihilate some beliefs, my own personal beliefs about age, that we were able to neutralize those, and as a result of that, I'm writing this next book.
Right. Well,
coach work.
Well, I'll tell you something. That is a gift in itself, on being able to put your thoughts and words on paper so that you can share it with other people. There's so many really great thoughts by a lot of people, but they don't have that skill in putting it into writing, and that's where you need a coach. And to your credit, you're not holding back on something that you're giving other people. I want to touch on some of the other points, not only about this book on the 100-year plan that you're writing now, but you've written Future Vision, Harness Your Power to Achieve Goals in the New Normal, and also that Action Planning Guide, plus, to be specific in the market, you've got a book that relates to sales in a challenging real estate market. So we got a lot to talk about, but I want to take a brief break, and we'll be right back with Mr. Darron Powers, author, coach, and speaker. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
And I'm pleased to announce that I've got two sponsors that I'm really impressed with because they're very practical type of products. And this Saturday I plan on having a sample of the Memory Health product, which is nutrition for the brain. It's titled Memory Health, which gives you a pretty good indication. It really is a phenomenal approach to nutrition for the brain. If you're interested in how it can help you, by all means, call 888-489-8980. And if you want to try it out, if you log on to memoryhealth.com/Ike, you will get a 10% discount. So if you are seeing those situations in life now, especially since if you've had the virus, you may have like a foggy brain, Memory Health might help. If you'd like more information, by all means, call me on my toll-free number, 888-489-8980, especially if you're in the entrepreneurial or regular world. You want to keep your brain as healthy as is possible. And likewise, all you keep hearing is about new variations of the virus. There's a nasal spray called Cofix RX that we have available in most pharmacies and also health food stores. It's actually a classic approach to putting a screen inside your nose. It's a nasal spray. Picture having almost like a mask, except it's a spray inside your nose. After 45 seconds of spray, it lasts for up to 8 hours. We've had some phenomenal results, and I'll be glad to give you more information if you call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. And in terms of keeping your whole life on track, Darron Powers' book that he's in the process of finishing up on is the 100-Year Plan, an anti-stress strategy to live better and longer. And as we discussed before, you made the comment, Darron, about looking at life as a glass half full or half empty. I'd like to add, if you are an optimistic individual looking to develop your ideas, look at your glasses 3/4 full and 1/4 empty. And that part is where people like Darron Powers and his coaching talent come in. Darron, if someone wants to get a hold of you directly and discuss how you can possibly help them, what phone number would you like to give out?
That would be 248-470-8379. That's 248-470-8379.
And I'm curious, what can people expect on the initial consultation? I assume you do not charge for that?
I do not. Yeah, I usually spend 20 minutes to a half an hour talking with people, finding out what it is that they want to accomplish. You know, whether it's, they need to overcome an obstacle or they want to achieve a goal. Recently, I had somebody call and they came over. They wanted to improve their golf game and they wanted to get a better job. So I worked with them over the period of, maybe 3-4 sessions. And she went out and she golfs with her dad. and her dad's a good golfer, and she normally gets very nervous. She steps up to the tee. She said, normally when I'll slice it off 90 yards to the left, to the right, into the trees, into the sand. She says, but I used the protocol that I taught for reducing stress and anxiety. She used that. She steps up to the tee with her dad, and she swings. She hits it 180 yards straight down the fairway, lands on the green. Her father turns to her and says, "Oh, my God, what have you been doing?" She had to laugh. He said, "Have you been practicing or what?" She says, "No, I have not played any more than normal. I just learned to control my mindset and my anxiety and my stress, and as a result of that, I'm able to think and, perform better." On the other hand, I called her a couple of weeks later, and she said, "Oh, by the way," she was a dental hygienist, and she was earning $34 an hour. I talked with my hygienist, and she said, "No, she's doing good. She's never going to get more than that here in the Michigan area." Well, I talked with her a couple of weeks later, and she said, "Well, I got the job of my dreams. I've got a dentist, a doctor who respects me, who understands my talent, and I'm making over $40 an hour."
Wow.
So that's what we were able to accomplish together through coaching. So good things can happen with, a little bit of input outside your normal thinking.
Right. Well, I would imagine that you probably identify things that people don't realize is a problem, and that is the key. I mean, I am really impressed with that one book as well, that you have an action planning guide. So is this something that you can adapt not only for golf games but also for bowling?
Yeah, absolutely. Anywhere, the book, Future Vision book, 6 Steps to Harness Your Power and Achieve Goals in Your New Normal, is the case studies, and it explains things. It's the reasoning behind it, and then the action guide is for people who are like, hey, I really want to make this happen in my life, and so they can. It has fill in the blanks, and it expands the other books. So those two books side by side. I did a talk a couple of weeks ago, and people just picked those things up like they were hot selling pancakes. I was really surprised at how many people bought lots of books and coaching too. So I'm also available for talks.
Well, I talk about business tips and surrounding with positive-minded people. One of the best tips from a very successful business person that I admire greatly is, as you know, the show that I do, I depend on sponsors. So when it comes down to the nitty-gritty as to how much they should pay to be a sponsor, he said, "Ike, I don't mind you coming up with whatever figure you have, as long as I'm getting back more than I'm giving you." So in other words, don't look as to how much money you're putting out, but how much in return you're going to get. And like you just brought out with your dental hygienist client, is that, hey, whatever it costs to get to the advice from $34 an hour to $40, if my math is right, that's like a 20% increase. So it's well worth getting a hold of Darron Powers, 248-470-8379, or call me at any time, 888-489-8980, and we'll have you back on, and I hope to book you, as they say, for the Optimist Club and the Rotary Club. So stand by, and hopefully we can be in touch and continue to live to 100 years if you so desire. Thanks a lot for being on the air, and right now I only have enough time for my favorite parting thought, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.
WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting